Hello friends, it's story time. Let's see what we remember. First, who writes the words? The author. Next, who draws the pictures? The illustrator. And what's the name of the book called? Its title. Also, in some books, the person who takes pictures, real pictures from a camera, is the photographer. So let's see what's happening with our book for today. Its title is Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack and the Beanstalk. Our author for today is Myra Alprin. And the illustrator who drew the pictures, who helps our imagination, is Mark Chambers. So let's think about this story as I read it today. We're going to remember it's like a plant that grows. There's the roots, or the beginning of the book. The stem, as it grows, there's the middle of the book. Then it has leaves that make our characters, that then blooms into the flower. That's the end of the book. So let's see what happens in this story. From the beginning, middle, all the characters we meet until we get to the end. Jack and the Beanstalk. Oh, Jack and the Beanstalk. Deep in the countryside lived a widow and her son, Jack. Their cottage was crumbling, and their clothes were patched. They were very, very poor. Look at the cabin crumbling. Holes in the window, patches all over her clothes. He's even barefoot. One day, Jack's mother said, "We must sell our cow. Take her to the market, Jack, and bring home some gold pieces." So he set off for town. I guess the cow was the last thing they had. But before Jack had gotten very far, he met a strange little man. "That's a fine cow," the man said. "I'll swap you 5 magic beans for her." "Magic beans?" said Jack. "Are they really magic?" as he scratched his head. "Magic they are, or chop off my beard and knit it into a sweater," said the little man. "Magic beans!" Jack couldn't wait to tell his mother. He clutched them tightly in his hands and he ran all the way home. Jack's mother was furious. That means she was super mad. "We need money, not useless old beans," she said, and she threw them right out the window. But late that night, a tiny bean sprout poked out from the ground. And then it grew, and it grew, and it grew. The next morning, the beanstalk stretched high into the sky. "The beans were magic," Jack cried. "But what's at the top?" So of course, Jack climbed up, up, and up the beanstalk. At last, he reached the very top. There, shimmering in the sunlight, was a magnificent castle. Just then, Jack's stomach began to rumble. He was hungry. "I must find some breakfast," he thought, and he tapped on the castle door. The door cracked open, and a huge giantess smiled down. "Hello," Jack shouted up. "Please, do you have any food?" "You poor thing," said the giantess. Come right in, but quickly, before the giant gets up. What a marvelous feast! There was an enormous loaf of bread and a gigantic jar of jelly, and Jack, he dug right in at once. But suddenly, the room began to shake. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my goodness, said the giantess. He's coming. And she shoved Jack under a teapot to hide. Into the room stomped a big, hairy, scary, hungry giant. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be ye live or be ye dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. Oh, don't be silly. There's nobody here but us, said the giantess. Now go and wash up before breakfast. Look at Jack. He was hiding under the teacup. Jack trembled. I must leave now, he thought. And as he was halfway down the hall, he heard squawk, squawk. It was a hen with bright golden feathers. Help, she clucked. Set me free and I'll lay you golden eggs every morning. Jack scooped up the hen, but then he heard huge footsteps thundering after him, and then running. Fee, fi, fo, fum, roared that giant. I smell the blood of that Englishman, and he's here. Jack raced out of the door, and then he jumped, and he slid down that stalk, down, 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 all the way back to his cottage. Mother, quick! Bring the axe, he shouted to her. Jack's mother swung that axe at the beanstalk. Thwack! It shuddered and it shook, and then the giant came tumbling down. Fee, fi, fo! Crash! And that was the end of the giant. Jack hugged his mother tight and said, Look what I found, as he showed her the hen. Oh, Jack, said his mother, I'm so glad you're safe, and you were right about those magic beans. So Jack and his mother and the golden hen, they all lived happily ever after, and with lots of golden eggs. They were never poor again. Look at all those golden eggs. It bought them a new house. They even have a slide to the swimming pool. And even the hen is relaxing and enjoying all the happiness. The end, my friends. So now, let's think about this story. What happened in the beginning? You're right. Jack lived at home with his mom, but they were very poor. So they had to sell their cow for money. Then what happened next in the middle? Jack was on his way and met a man with a long white beard who offered him magic beans for his cow. But his mom didn't like it when he got home and threw him right out the window. So next, what happened in the end? When he climbed that stalk, he met a nice girl giant, but then the mean giant wanted to chase him and catch him and even eat him. But when he ran down the stalk and they chopped it, that was the end of the giant. And the hen that he had with him, they were no longer poor. So you know the beginning, the middle, And in the end, that happy ending that made them rich, we also met characters. Let's see if we can remember. Jack, his mother, the man that sold him the beans, the giant lady, the giant man, and the chicken that laid golden eggs. So when you hear this story again, now you'll remember the beginning, the middle, and the end. Until next time, my friends, have a great day and look for another story time. Bye.